This is what it takes to set up specialty coffee shops in Bosnia. Welcome. Thank you so much for meeting with us, guys. As you know, we're taking a bag of coffee around the world, all the way to Australia from the UK. And on the way, we're trying to meet like other coffee entrepreneurs, people who've set up their own business and know how hard it is, how good it is, how bad it is, how fun it is, all of these different things together. And we know that you're probably the #1 coffee place in Mostar. So we wanted to reach out to you guys and discover how you ended up with such a beautiful coffee brand and in 4 locations and your story. So tell me, how did you get into all of this? What made you suddenly think coffee?
We have first of all, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure. How we started? We started we have a big coffee tradition here in Bosnia and especially Mostar. And but we don't have the quality of coffee in Bosnia and in Mostar especially. So back in the day I was studying in Vienna and working through the student jobs as usual.
As a barista?
No, I worked like in branding and marketing stuff. Yeah. And one of the jobs was for a big coffee job, so branding. So they sent me to a coffee museum in Vienna, and there I got to see how the whole process is working, and that there is basically a science behind the scenes. And I got very interested into it, and then I came back here to Mostar to live again. In my hometown. Yeah. So I always was kind of interested in the specialty process and how in the taste and how to make a good coffee brand. But there was never one here. So one day I was traveling on a weekend trip to Banja Luka, and suddenly I discovered the Fabrika brand. They was having this little shop set up. This was their first shop, and basically the first specialty shop in Bosnia as well.
Okay, cool.
So we was already working together in a big corporate firm. So I sent it over to him, and I told him that would be a nice idea for Mostar.
Yeah.
And that was an idea of ours.
And how long ago was that?
That was I don't know, 8 years ago maybe.
8 years ago, yeah.
The idea basically just stood there for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And then one day we were sitting in the coffee here in the near, and I was always kind of looking for some cool places to open a spot up, and we started basically in the corner there.
Yeah. Okay.
And that was our first try for coffee shop.
Yeah. And what was that like, doing the very first one?
It was very interesting, but basically we didn't know what we got into, and it was basically a good start for us, because maybe I'm always thinking if we knew how much work that would be, that
would we do it?
Yeah,
we think the same.
Yeah. So I saw the spot, and I was telling him it was at a phone. So I was telling him look at this one, and he was like, you know what? Remember when you told me 3 years ago about the Fabrika coffee? That would be a good idea here. So I was like, yeah, it's a good idea. So we made a few calls and ended up taking the spot.
Wow.
And
were you nervous?
A little bit, yeah. Then I found the number on the internet from the Fabrika coffee owner. We called him up, and we was like, we want to open a specialty shop here in Mostar. Are you interested to work with us? And he was like, if you're serious guys, you come over. If not, then you do not come over. So we we came over. We talked with him. Made a good impression, obviously, and he was like, let's go. And basically 3 months later we opened our first shop up with 6 tables in the corner of the
and were you behind the machine, or did you get baristas in? How hands-on are you guys?
we get
cleaning tables.
We got the good schooling, and like I said, I was always interested in it, and the first few employees we did ourselves, and was basically very, very close to the whole process, right? And but now it's different, obviously.
Now you're overseeing.
I'm
just going to check.
Managing more and more, and that's it. Everything's working?
All good.
Cool.
So what did you learn the most in that first shop? What was the one thing that you think, or you wish you'd known?
I don't know. Maybe like I told you, I think it's like it's like a big pleasure not knowing too much.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're like going open-minded in the whole process. So I think like that was a big advantage for us.
Is it similar to us? We had no idea when we first got into it, literally not a clue.
Yeah.
And it means you have new ideas, new ways of doing things, new ways of thinking.
We were different.
Yeah.
I mean, we still are, but I think that was our biggest advantage in terms of, you see in the street here is like full of coffees.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing why we stood out, because we had like, an unconventional way of doing things.
Yeah.
And still have.
Yeah.
But I think we got this because we basically didn't know what we was doing. So that's the main thing.
Key.
Yeah, that's the key.
And then was it quite straight? Did it sort of work straight away? Did everyone understand? Because we were talking to some guys in Italy, and they were the problem with Italy is they don't understand specialty coffee.
Yeah.
They love the Italian style coffee, and they can't. This lovely company who I'll talk about later, but they can't. They're trying to get them to understand specialty coffee. For Bosnia, what's the market like? Do they get it, or is it more?
It took time. They do get it, but they get it in terms of that they're seeing the quality, they taste the quality, but the specialty world not really. No. No. I mean, there are a few people, of course, but
because I saw you have like Chemex on your menu and things like that. Do people order it here, or is
tourists?
Tourists.
mainly,
Really tourists.
And specifically for here, mainly Arabic people.
Yeah,
they're like the Chemex a lot.
Yeah.
So and tourists, of course, but mainly them. And but the domestic people not.
No. They're not. They're not interested.
They're like who will pay like 12 marks for a cup of coffee?
Yeah, it's not.
That's too much for them.
Yeah.
We are more the espresso people here.
Yeah.
Short shot and.
And what's your market? I mean, here we're in quite a main street, isn't it? Yeah. Are you mainly getting the locals here or tourists here, and your other shops? What's?
We have like different spots, and depending on the spot, it's like what the people are in there. We have the two more shops that are active now. We have one in the old town, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a touristic one, just a takeaway.
Yeah.
We have two spots which are quite city spots, and they're more domestic.
Yeah.
And here in this shop, in the first shop, it's more mixed.
Yeah.
In the winter time, still now it's more domestic people, mainly domestic people. But in the summertime, it's mainly tourists.
And tell me a little bit about how you grew, because I know going one shop it's not easy, but it's very much your baby, isn't it? Like you can be there, you can see everything, you can make sure the music's right, you can make sure the table, you're very much watching everything.
Yeah.
But when you go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, how did you find that process of sort of then not being able to be there, the staffing, maybe you have managers. How was that journey?
We basically grew into it. We have like our system, how we work, how we operate, how we're doing things. And then we was just like copy pasting things, basically. And it kind of worked good for us, We did things right with the first shop, and then we just tried to, but not in terms of looks. And I think every shop has its own soul.
Good.
And its own advantages and disadvantages, obviously. But the system is basically the same. And when you come to our other shops, you can still feel like the spirit of it, But it's completely a different story.
We used to say we want the same DNA, but a different look.
Right.
With our shops.
Right.
That's what we always try to
the same DNA, different look. It's like.
Do you find that you're enjoying it more, having from 1 to 4? Is this where do you feel where you want to be? Are you guys looking to do more? What's the plan?
We always wanted to have. I always told him, like when we started up, I always told him like we basically 3 minimum.
Okay.
I always wanted to make like this brand stuff because it's in Mostar and Bosnia specifically, we are not keen to have more shops. Yeah. It's like you have one coffee, it's working, that's it. Okay. And there are owners of more coffees or restaurants, but it's always different shops.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like completely different story, you know. But to make a brand, to create a brand and make like more shops, it's not like it's not the usual story here in Mostar.
Okay.
So we always wanted like more,
Yeah.
and obviously we did it, but we was always like afraid of growing too fast, too
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
But you can't really know, do you, when's the right time?
Yeah.
It's
So we
it's
just
hard.
got jump into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do it kind of by feel, isn't it?
Yeah. When like a good opportunity comes, we were like, yeah, what you think? Yeah, let's go. So we tried it. And it's in some ways it's more complicated, but in some ways it's not.
Okay.
Like you
You
have
can move-
you
you can
have
move.
3 children. It's like
Yeah, we see
Good
our
analogy,
shops,
right?
Our shops
Yeah.
are a bit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
You don't want too many,
That's
but
the
you
thing,
want enough
right.
to make it
That's
easier
the
when you're
thing.
feeding them. They're all.
I'm interested to know if your days look similar to our days, because as owners, it's a bit different to when we first started, right? Shop 1 versus shop 4. What's your day-to-day look like on average, sort of a typical week? Are you running around everywhere, or what does your week
basically
look like?
yes.
Basically.
Yeah, but you know, we are glad we do it. Like we were just talking the other day about it. Like I told him I love this game.
Yeah.
It's like a really cool thing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
And we are operating mostly on cell phones, obviously, WhatsApp groups, and everything has its own group. And there's always, you know, somewhere something needed. So we are.
Well, there's always somewhere something breaking.
Right.
Yeah.
Breaking or staff members
Stocks.
falling out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will all on the run, always on the run. And in between that, we are enjoying the places, like maybe to second shop, third shop, fourth shop. Let's drink coffee here, grab something to eat there,
Yes.
and that's basically our operating system from day to day. But it's very interesting. It's basically never the same,
Yeah.
I agree.
and
agree.
I think it's a pleasure to do that. We're enjoying it.
Good.
Yeah, it's
basically
an
that.
amazing social
Yeah.
environment to be in.
What's the biggest challenge you faced over the time you've had the business? Would you say?
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's always the biggest challenge.
That's international.
Yeah, because it's like specialty. You need to have professional baristas, obviously, and you need to school them. And then we had like a lot of people who came being schooled and then left.
Yeah.
Then you need to
that's
create
frustrating.
new.
Yeah.
Then you need to create new people, and like the new generations, the younger ones are not really keen to work and to learn new stuff, because they are coming with like this mindset that they already know stuff.
I'm glad it's the
So
same here.
Yeah, so it's like stuff is always a problem, and quality stuff is always searched for.
Yeah.
And we are always like glad when we find some quality stuff, but it does not happen that much.
Okay.
Yes.
And 2 or 3 more questions. What makes you guys stand out? You know, what is Fabrika? Why is it so successful? Why is it sort of taken Mostar by storm?
I think we did the best job with the first one. Like I said, we were like, you know, we didn't have any knowledge of the process, so we had like this privilege to get into this spot, which is like traditional but modern as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had the right ideas and the right time to, like, you know, make a fusion out of these two concepts. And people recognized it.
Yeah.
Obviously, quality too. There's no quality shop here in Herzegovina regional. So even though people don't know about specialty coffee that much, but they do recognize the quality.
But also, you can see in your like Instagram, you've come from marketing. You know, it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks, you know, it's a.
That's too
it's-
right.
It
right.
looks.
Latte art was not present in Mostar as well.
Yeah.
So we were like the first to do it really in a professional way.
Nice.
So always like these kind of little things. We then created the brand from the first shop.
Yeah.
And then, like, when you open the second and the third and the fourth, people already know about it.
Yeah.
So it's like in that kind of way, it's easier to go further steps. But it was mainly this shop and our first customers and the first stuffs and etc. etc. We made a brand out of it. And then,
and went from there.
Yeah.
And then, what's the one bit of advice you'd give somebody in any part of the world who wants to set up a coffee shop? What would you say the one bit of advice that you would want them to have?
I think it's need to be personal.
Yeah.
That's the main advice. I've seen a lot of people having cool spots and cool cafes, but it's always something missing.
Yeah.
And I think just it's because like a lot of people getting into this business because of money. Just money is obviously a very important thing. But we went in like to create something, and the money came along the way. And when we started, we always like talked about like the money wouldn't come that fast. It takes time. And I think when you go into a specific place, and it's just the feeling that is important you have when you enter. Be it a restaurant, be it a coffee shop.
You're so right. You're so right. And we say the same. Like the music's got to be right.
It's the details.
The barista.
Right?
It's all these little things just like come together, and you get this feeling of it working.
You just feel when someone is invested. So that's very important. You need to be invested. You need to like it, to love it. There are a lot of cool places as well in Mostar, but it's my feeling always when I go there is something missing. That's personal notes, you know, and that's the main thing. You need to be invested. You need to the place needs to reflect yourself. Kind of, and that's very important.
Well, listen, well done, guys. You've done an amazing job. It's so kind of you to give us your time and to share it with us. It's so surreal how in Bosnia the stories are so similar. You know, staffing. You got to have the feeling. You got to get the location right. You got to get all of this sort of stuff right, which is almost identical to exactly the same challenges we have in London. You know, in Southwest London, where we talk about exactly the same things, where our day is very different. It goes from one thing to another thing to another thing. But like you said, we love it. You know, we just love not knowing quite what's going to happen that day. We love having to solve problems. We love looking after the customers and things like that. So it's really cool.
So one of the things I wanted to share with you is as we're visiting roasters and coffee shops along the way, we're asking for every coffee shop or roaster to pass on a bag to the next place we visit. So the people we've just seen is Gabriella and Francesco from Santa Romero, and they're in Torino. So this is for you, passed on from them. And if we could ask for a Fabrika coffee to pass on to the next guys, and we'll continue this journey all the way through to Australia.
Of course.
So it'd be quite a nice way to connect everyone through coffee.
Thank you for having us again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.